All right, guys, welcome back to the first episode.
I like how you said that there. Welcome back to the first episode of
Blunt Kings, motherfucker.
And we got the blunt rolling right here. You know what I'm saying? We the Kings. This your host, A Omega with the Funky Dough Flavor. And my partner in crime, my spicker. I got Val right here. You already know. T.O.V.
Val, baby.
Tell them what to do, man.
So hip hop, right? We have four elements to hip hop historically. It is what, A Omega? There's DJing, MCing, and what are the other two?
Man, you got your graph and you got your breakdance.
All right. So we're going to be breaking down a lot of the things hip hop today. And for future episodes, that's basically what we're going to be doing with Blunt Kings. We're going to be delving into hip hop historically. I was born in 85, A Omega 84. We're 40 and 41 years old at this point. Before we even started to pick up a pen and record music as Sanctified Poets or T.I.O, the Inspired Ones, we actually did a lot as far as hip hop goes. So I remember I used to do a lot of graph and I tried breakdancing. You know, shout out to Sneeze, shout out to Bale, rest in peace, Bale. Those were the two dudes that I remember seeing breakdancing when I was like 7th grade. And they used to kill it, man. Like, honestly, I was blown away by how dope they were at breakdancing and how dope they were at graffiti. So it kind of made me want to go that path. And then later on, I found my niche with writing raps and never tried DJing, though. I've made mixtapes and stuff like that for like people, friends and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, DJ Fat Boy was my
Beatbox. Beatbox was a little easier for us, man. We couldn't buy that shit.
But what about you, Ayo? What were some of the things that
let me tell you there, man. As far as graffiti has always been in my blood, man. Since junior high, before I could even write, before I could even do a good one-liner, before I could even do a good outline. You know what I'm saying? I have some folks out here right now that just straight outshine the shit out of me, man. And I appreciate everything that they do right now. You know what I'm saying? Because they are literally putting murals on the wall, keeping it visible for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that Southwest hip hop graffiti culture alive there. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever do DJing?
I did not there. As much as I had accessibility to some vinyl, my old man said, hell no, you scratch my albums, I'm going to kick your ass. So I was like,
And shout out to Bob, you know what I mean? Bob's one of the best people I could think of when it comes to somebody that's really saved and kept and collected nothing but really good music. It doesn't matter what genre it is. If he likes it, he buys it, he dubs it, he makes a copy for you. Shout out to Bob Hastings. That's one of my favorite dudes on the planet. So
man, that old man there, yeah, definitely he be sleeping right now with the crickets and shit there, but he ain't dead. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this: that fool's got some artillery in his arsenal. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But he is a Nelson and he is a Howard there, so he is pretty particular there. You know what I'm saying? On all that shit that he got going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. So what the direction we're going to be going with Blunt Kings is going to be very special. So I said before, I was born in 85, A Omega's born in 84, but we're going to be really going through the history of hip hop month by month. We're starting with January. Today is Father's Day. We're all over the place. I don't really give a fuck about schedules or staying on top of month by month shit. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back all the way to January, the very beginning of hip hop, some of the things that happened, some of the albums that were popular, and then we're going to dive into our top 5 favorite MCs right now and our top 5 MCs that are dead, passed on, and then also some other topics as well down the line. So before anything, I just want to say I figured you wouldn't understand because nobody really understands what we do here at Strain Damage Studios, and I kind of like it that way. I really like the fact that we can leave for a few months up to a year, come back with something new, and it still gets accepted by the masses. Just like like when we first started Sanctified, everybody knows us from Sanctified. We're like one of the first rap groups in New Mexico. I'll be the first one to say that. So shout out to Sanctified Poets. Shout out
We
to
had the 3-piece, baby. We
Yeah,
had the 3-piece that no one else had.
shout out to my cousin Eternity. Shout out to A Omega.
T.O.E.
We really did start something special when we did start doing hip hop. You know what I mean? There was only a few people in the game at the moment as far as New Mexico and Albuquerque as a whole. I believe it was like the Block Boys and like David Wade and Mateo and people like that. You know what I'm saying? So
R&B mix.
shout out to all you guys. Oh, wrong one.
We hear crickets from y'all, you know what I mean? But again, too, we all know that y'all getting older there, you know what I'm saying? We are into our older time frame. And you know what I mean? Don't forget though, I mean, y'all inspired us and y'all paved the way for us, you know what I mean? Because you already had a motion going on. And that was direct. But let's come correct. This is A Omega with the funky plan.
So we're gonna jump into January. Key moments in hip hop history. Date all the way back to the 1970s, 1980s. That was the birth and the rise of hip hop, right? And that did happen in January. January 1979, the Sugar Hill Gang released Rapper's Delight, widely credited in the first commercially successful hip hop single, bringing rap into the mainstream. And then, so let's talk about that for a minute. I wasn't really around for the Sugar Hill Gang era. That was a little bit before my time and A Omega's time.
Right.
But, however, it was playing on MTV when we were kids. So it still counts. You know what I mean? We seen that shit as we're eating Cheerios and Farina and shit like that. So let's see. So that was 1979. You know what I mean? January 1980s, though, however, while specific January events are not documented, the early 1980s saw the emergence of hip-hop pioneers like Run DMC, LL Cool J, the Beastie Boys, who began to gain a national attention during this period. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I came in, like as far as like I actually was like hearing this shit on the radio. I know A Omega can agree with me on this.
Def Jam.
Def Jam, man. When Def Jam was Def Jam, shout out to Joe Budden. He really
Russell and Homeboy doing this thing, man. That's the shit that changed everybody's mind frame there. You know what I mean? Because there were two different folks from two different genres, two different neighborhoods, but they had the same ear. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not get it fucking twisted there. Everybody fucking has, you know, the preference, but to blend with your brother with the same ear to really know what's going to change everybody. You know what I'm saying? That was those two. Man, it was like Stevie Wonder or like, you know what I mean? Let's say Quincy Jones and Mike, you know what I'm saying? That was those two. Like the connection hookup, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go as far as saying Haller and Easy.
Well, that was a little bit after, and we'll probably get to that. Honestly, I think I see that down here on the list.
Yeah, so I'm jumping ahead.
So Run DMC, LL Cool J, and the Beastie Boys. I remember seeing them on the early days of like MTV when MTV was actually playing music videos. That's what they were known for at first. Sorry, new generation, but yeah, we got to see all the cool music videos. And honestly, that's one of the reasons I wanted to start doing videography, is seeing some of those cool videos as a kid. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to keep it moving. Shout out to LL Cool J, Run DMC, and the Beastie Boys. They are definitely the top three pioneers.
LL Cool J? Okay, what's your favorite LL Cool J one?
I remember listening to, and this is going to sound,
let's be real.
This is going to sound corny as fuck, but I remember listening to Mama Said Knock You Out when with my cousin Diego. He bought the CD, or he stole the CD. Shout out my cousin D. I know you stole that CD, dog. Yeah. He used to go to Hastings at the the Via Linda Mall? No. De Vargas. No, De Vargas.
He
would ride his bike to the De Vargas Mall, right? And then he would steal all the CDs when they didn't even. He's probably the reason why, like one of the reasons why they had to start putting those white plastics on the CDs.
Oh, I got you.
So yeah, so
that's why we call it the treasure chest, huh?
Yeah, and that was the 1990s. So now that we're talking about the 1990s, this is the expansion and the innovation of hip hop, right? January 1990, the Ghetto Boys. Ooh. Shout out to the Ghetto Boys. Shout out to Bushwick Bill.
Man, I'll never forget that album cover, man, where he was in that gurney.
Oh yeah,
they were just rushing him through Willie D.
And that's that shock value. That they were known for that shock value. They were one of the first groups that were mainstream that were known for that shock value and talking about certain things that were just like damn.
No one else could do it like that
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? And the funny thing about that shit there, it wasn't LA. It wasn't fucking New York. It wasn't Miami. It wasn't Chicago. It was motherfucking Texas.
And that went on to make significant moment in Southern hip hop history for sure, for the Ghetto Boys to come out with something so dope and controversial at the same time. So,
But which also paved the way.
yeah, it did.
Because it paved the way for a lot of folks, Devin the Dude and, you know, such forth. And, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the cats were on the silent come up. You know what I mean? That was the thing about the South. Because the West and the East has always been getting their thing in. But let's keep going there.
All right, cool. January 1991, Digital Underground releases. Woo. This is an EP featuring Tupac Shakur on the track Same Song, making his debut in hip hop history. So shout out to Tupac, shout out to Digital Underground. I remember when that actually came out. I think I was just sitting in my living room eating Fruity Pebbles and
all around the world.
Yeah, same song. And then I remember seeing him on. They performed that song on Nothing But Trouble. Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase. You know what I mean? Demi Moore. Yeah.
Was classic.
That was one of my favorite movies of all time. Like back then, like my stepdad Kevin would put that shit on, and I was just like, yeah, this shit's the shit.
B90s kids watching that there for the first time. You know, somebody rented it. You expected it to be a dud. But it turned out to be something that you actually fucking like.
And I'm gonna say, I when I saw that movie, I didn't put two and two together that was Tupac, right? Because it was just showing the Shock G shit, and then Tupac was just kind of dancing in the background. Yeah. So that was cool. Shout out to Tupac. Rest in peace, Tupac.
But then you had Danny Aykroyd over there with the little guitar, you know, with the little keyboard,
with the organ.
Yeah, exactly. He nailed that shit.
Yeah, and then we go on to January 1996. You mentioned this earlier. Eazy-E, the album Straight Off the Streets of Motherfucking Compton was released.
Not 96, man. That was like 94, man.
It says 96 on here.
Man, that nigga died in 95, man. Pac died in 96, man. So like 94, that blue album there that everybody knew with the blue and the black, where exit out there straight off the XF streets of Compton. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, we're gonna have to double check that.
No. I know that one definitely, because 94, 95, that's still that time. That was like, you don't see what I see every day as Warren G. Because 94, they, you know what I mean? 94, that was still around that time and they were still beefing. You know what I mean? 92, 93 was Doggy Style. That came out around that time too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was still that time, because 92, 93, Snoop came out with his solo.
So this must be a typo then. So sorry about that, audience.
No. They know that's what we are, the historians, because we actually lived through that.
Right.
So just because the internet tells you something doesn't mean it's for real.
Yeah,
that's
internet,
why we're
get
here
your
to
facts
chap
straight.
Your ass there. That's why we here, just to let you know, because we lived through that there. You know what I'm saying?
And then that went into the 2000s of the commercial success and controversy of hip hop, right? So January 2002, right? Several hip hop albums were released, including KRS-One's Spiritual Minded and Sibo's Life as a Writer.
Sibo, man, that fool been around for like 25.
Yep.
He been around with Brother Lynch hung. Mm-hmm. And who was the first one you said before that?
That is going to be, let's see. That is going to be, where'd it go? Oh, Sibo's Life as a Writer.
Sibo?
Yeah, I didn't really hear that one as a kid growing up. I did hear KRS-One's Spiritual Minded. Sibo,
he was very hardcore Northern Cal, like, you know, Central California, Northern California, like, he was plugged in like a Looney Corleone, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't know these cats, you wasn't plugged in, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know this plug from, like, you know, somebody that brought the mixtape to the state that actually lived out there. You wasn't gonna find this shit unless somebody actually brought it to the table.
He was like
you know what I mean?
Like Be Legit, right? Like I didn't stumble upon Be Legit till like later in like the Thiz years, like when you had showed me Mac Dre and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, he was part of the clique, you know what I'm saying? He was from the town, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way they get down out there, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? Bay Area!
And then we move on to January 2007, DJ Drama and Don Cannon were arrested for illegally distributing mixtapes,
What?
leading to a shift in how mixtapes are distributed in the digital age. So shout out to DJ Drama and
Yep, I
Don
was just
Cannon.
gonna say that shit.
I remember that
drama.
shit.
That drama bullshit, the gangster Grizzlies
And
you know what I'm
Southern-
saying? We grew up on that like a
Yep.
like a pancake.
DJ Smalls, Southern Smoke, all that shit.
Yep.
I remember bumping that shit, blowing speakers in my house before we'd go swimming. And
Man, we
shit
go
like
pick that up at the illegal little underground spot, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Record Roundup
exactly.
and LA Underground. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out LA Underground, man. Straight up, LA Underground. You guys were the shit.
That's
you guys,
what we
you
miss
guys were
y'all.
selling me CDs since I was like 11. So
Miss you.
yeah. Well, they're still rocking, but you know they
Different
they just sell a bunch of graffiti stuff right now. So shout out to LA Underground. Shout out to Record Roundup. My cousin Diego used to say that the guy that owned the store looked
Shout
like my
out
brother.
to the Southwest Flavor for keeping it real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
shout
exactly.
out to the Nuevo. Shout out to the Duke.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Right.
January 2015, several significant events occurred, including the death of ASAP Yams. Rest in peace, ASAP Yams.
Yams, man.
And the lawsuit that was filed by Lil Wayne against Birdman and the arrest of Suge Knight for murder. Oh, this is where it gets really cool. This is like the stuff that we're really
In
keen
tune
to,
with
because this is
it,
when we
yeah.
really start like not being a fan of hip hop, but like more being an analytical subject when it came to some of these things that were coming up, because this is controversial. You know, ASAP Yams, he was
They
killed.
were very coincidental.
Right. And then rest in peace, ASAP Yams. That was a big loss for the ASAP crew for sure. But the one I really wanted to talk about was the lawsuit filed by Lil Wayne against Birdman. That is very interesting because, you know, it's like we go back to the Eazy-E, Jerry Heller, right? When you mentioned them earlier, it's kind of like one of those stories where it's like, hey, yo, Lil Wayne, let me convince you how good you are and what kind of an artist you can be. But don't forget, you're going to owe me at the end of the day. And the way that Birdman conducts business, I don't know how good it is or how bad it is. But for someone like Lil Wayne to go up against you and to sue you, you must have been stealing a grip of cash, homie. Like straight up. Like you must have been raping Lil Wayne in more ways than you already probably did. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lil Wayne. I don't want no smoke either. I'm just saying, like,
Or maybe we do.
yeah, maybe
we do.
Yeah, maybe we do. Maybe I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
You know
Like,
what I'm saying? At the end of the day, there, you know, learning from those certain situations there, you know, you cannot trust anybody.
nobody, not even Birdman. I know Birdman probably he probably talks a good game and he throws a grip of cash at you in the beginning. But if
You
you
were
really,
14, dog.
if you think about it, Birdman, I found this out, dude. Birdman has sold more records in the industry than anybody, dog.
Man, those 2000s
Like
were awful.
anybody. Like okay, so like if you go back and like, you know, they had this commercial this morning. It was a Drake commercial that I saw on Instagram, and it was like so many songs on the Billboard for so long and so many platinum hits and so many hit records. But you got to realize that Birdman is the one that signed Drake, right? You know what I
It
mean?
was
Like,
all distribution.
even though Lil Wayne was the one that found him and Young Money is the thing, you know Birdman.
Well,
got,
it's LLC.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a collective group.
Birdman
there.
got that cut.
Of course.
That's all I know. And now Jay Prince is getting the cut. So shout out to Jay Prince.
Yo, shout out to anybody that get it in legit. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
Or especially if you sign an artist like Drake, like even like Akon, right? Akon signed Little Gaga. He doesn't have to fucking
He signed
work
Gaga,
a day.
man.
Yeah.
Get the fuck
dude.
outta here.
Yeah, Akon found Lady
I
Gaga.
tried so hard.
And he found Little Gaga after trying so hard.
I got you. I'll
So
feel you.
yeah,
I'll feel you.
definitely. Yeah.
My speaker.
So yeah, moving along. Oh, actually, no, not moving along. The arrest of Suge Knight for murder. We do got to tap into that because that is something that.
So yo, from being from LA myself, there, dog. You know what I mean? Even though I'll be up here in the dusty, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think he was put out there like a plant because he had so much influence?
Who?
Suge?
Suge?
Suge, dog. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of
I
power.
think Suge
Everybody
now-
put him out to
I
be,
think Suge now-
Puffy back then. I mean, he wasn't. You know, what was he really doing?
So I think Suge now. Okay, back then, let's rewind. I think Suge back then was just a bully like fuck, right? And he was just all about his money.
He was a pimp.
And then
he was a pimp.
And then when he went down after the murder of that dude in the parking lot that he ran over, right? Because he was going to go fight that dude or some shit, and then he ran some guy over, killed him.
Oh shit!
Rest in peace to the guy that he ran over, and it put him into this.
That was a Vegas thing too, right?
No. That was in L.A. That was
okay.
I forgot where it was.
It was latter though. It was like later after all of his.
Yeah, like it was after, like he had already gotten out of jail for all the other stuff. And
he was just trying to keep it cool.
Yeah, because when he went to jail the first time, I believe it was because when he was in Vegas and the shooting happened, he was on probation or parole, so it was a parole violation. So he went to jail for that for a long time.
Conflicted.
And then when he got out, then he ran some dude over, and then now he's back in prison, and now he's just like ratting on everybody. Like, I want to tell you exactly what Puffy's doing. I want to tell you exactly what Dre's doing. I want to tell you exactly what Snoop's doing. And I don't blame the guy, because I honestly think that this shit's kind of like, it's coming from a place of truth. You know what I mean? Like,
you got to get it out.
Yeah,
I mean, if it doesn't rot or fester for me from the inside from guilt there.
But I can't say, you know what I mean? Like, I could just stipulate and stimulate the senses.
I only know that from a personal perspective, the more that I harbor on shit, the more it fucking kills me on the inside.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The more we think about, like, was he involved in Tupac's murder? I don't think so, but I think he knows how everything transpired, right? I think he kind of like gave the story about, like, the hint, I guess you could say, that Keefe D was involved in, and yada yada, this and that. So then it started people asking. That's when
Keefe LAPD and then they play that. They start. Hip-hop, that's the original hip hop cops.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's the original start of the hip hop cops. Yeah, which would be like, FTP.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
And, we don't want to go any further on that there, because we're not here to elaborate on that. We're just here to be historians on the hip hop.
All I gotta say is, Suge, if you know something, keep saying it. Keep saying it. I'm proud of you, Cassie.
Let it out, baby.
All right. 2020s, the legacy and celebration. So, right, January 2023.
Oh, 2023.
Photographiska hosted an exhibition, Hip Hop Conscious, Unconscious, celebrating the contributions of women in hip hop and documenting the genre's evolution over 50 years. Let's stop right there. So there's a lot of female acts in hip hop right now to this day, right? 2025, there's a grip. They're like they're dominating, right? More than man. Glorilla's dominating. Who else?
No. You can stop from 2020 all the way up, from COVID to 2025.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in 20. Yeah, so yeah, Glorilla, Sexy Red.
You still got the little baby.
Ice Spice is melting by the day.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? But she used to be my favorite, dog. Honestly, when Ice Spice first came out, I was like, I'm gonna marry that bitch, dog. And then I seen a clip like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh no, wrong one. I was like, bitch.
Where that at?
Bitch, what? I was like, she lost her ass.
You ain't even got an Oakland ad no more.
Bro, she's throwing up devil signs at the Super Bowl. She's doing a bunch of weird ass shit, right? And
looking like a microphone stand and shit. Skinny as hell.
Long story short, she's not my favorite no more. Honestly, I like who is it? Is it no, not Glorilla. Lotto? Is it Lotto? Is that her name? Lotto?
Lotto, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what they say.
God, Lotto. Yeah. Shout out to Lotto. I'm gonna give you one of these whenever I see you, Lotto.
Be like, man, go fat boy. All right.
So
I feel you there. So that will be popping.
Who's your favorite female MC right now, and then back in the day? I'm gonna say right now mine is Lotto, and then back in the day would be Lauryn Hill, straight up.
Okay, Lauryn Hill there for sure. I feel you there. Right now up to date as far as somebody that's gonna keep it real, I would say Crystal Poppin'. You know what I mean? She's better than that Destiny 6ix9ine chick that,
shout out to.
You see the shirt, you know what I'm saying? You see the hat. You know what I mean? But Crystal Poppin' there, I remember Crystal Poppin' back in the day.
How did I forget Crystal Poppin'? Shout out to Crystal Poppin'. She has a song with
the H, you know what I'm saying? We see you out there. you came to the Bay Area one time, and I remember we was
For the GT Garza show, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Shout out to
was
GT
there.
Garza. Shout out to all of the Houston artists. You know what I'm saying?
That's
We ain't
that
gonna
Camp
forget
La
you when we talk
Máquina
about you. Yeah, Crystal Poppin', she's super dope, but she's super new. She's super right around the corner from us.
And she's been building her thing up little by little by little by little, and she's just only getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You know, these other ones, they come in, they're out of nowhere, and they
Right.
just have a certain sound, a certain approach. They hit it right away, and then they done. You know, this sound gets stagnant. You know what I'm saying? These ones, her, with the camp that she's building with there, they have her doing different approaches, different sounds. You know what I'm saying? Like different things that they're trying to keep her up super versatile,
Yeah,
especially with their sound.
yeah, no
You know what I
doubt.
mean? Which is nice.
She has the song with Paul Wall, Champions.
Ooh, bro.
Yo,
Check that out.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Make sure you guys go stream that. Shout out Crystal Poppin'. She is definitely one of my favorite female artists right now. That's right around the way. You know what I
And
mean?
so to back it up there to what you first initially asked me there, that was my most current one. But I know my old school one. My old school one that was really up to me, that was, you know what I mean, at the time with the lyrics, for sure. Definitely gotta be the Foxy Brown.
Oh, Foxy Brown.
Foxy
Okay.
Brown.
Okay.
Yeah. I hear you with that.
Yeah, Foxy Brown's dope.
I mean, that firm, when she was with the Nas and the AZs, you know what I mean? When she was with the group, the collabo, she was always good. You know
No,
what I'm
I
saying?
know. Every time someone mentions the firm and Foxy Brown, I always think about that.
I know you think about a fart. That's why.
No. I don't even think about a fart. I think about there's this video, right, where it tried to catch up with the math that she was doing on one of the songs when she's like, I break down a brick to blah blah blah, and she was like doing all the weights, but like someone really broke it down. They're all, Foxy, that's
Oh, she was talking about she fucked up the grammage. Yeah, I remember she was talking about the grams.
Yeah.
Actually on the legitimacy of
and then
there.
another 2 for what we about to do or whatever.
She was trying to go with the rhyme scheme as opposed to like doing the math in the brain to make the shit sound relevant, which is fucked up.
Which is cool. Like I get it. Like if
Yeah,
you're gonna
the
do it, but
wordplay,
you got to make sure that the math is mathing at the end of that verse.
Yeah, at the end of the day, make sure your shit's relevant and your shit be adding up.
But shout out to Foxy Brown though.
Poor thing, man.
Yeah,
She
poor
fucked up
thing.
right now.
She's been in the game since like 15, 16 years old. She was brought in
Jamaica,
by
right?
Jay-Z.
But she out there in Jamaica doing bad.
Stipulations that Jay-Z might have or might not have been doing some diddling behind the scenes with that one too. So those are all hearsay things. Neither are not here nor there. We talk about it because we want to, because we have we've analyzed the game since we were yay high. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we're gonna move along. So you said Foxy Brown and Crystal Poppin'. Yep. I said Lotto and Lauryn Hill. Yep. So that's cool. That's dope as fuck. Those are good MCs right there.
Man,
and
I mean, they both hold up their structure. Good stories to tell. Never boring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you leave the people that you want around bored, come on now.
Right.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Might as well throw the crickets. Yep. Exactly, man.
So definitely shout out to all the female MCs in the game. You guys are crushing it right now. You guys are making a lot of money. You guys
a lot more than us.
You guys are shining. I'm jealous. Lotto, sit on my face. I mean, please kill the game with grace.
Yo, Crystal Poppin', I'm a big guy. What up? You like the chubbies? What up?
Hell yeah. So, all right, moving along. January 2025, T-Pain announced the TP20 tour. What? To celebrate 20 years of
Did
being
you just say that?
in the music industry.
The TP?
I don't know.
The TP tour?
I'm assuming it stands for T-Pain, but when you put TP20, it just sounds like...
I'm from New Mexico, man. That means like you're going to throw up a teepee. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or toilet paper.
Wow.
You're going to toilet paper 20 people's houses. All right, but anyway, no, shout out.
Enough money going on anything with that gaming.
No, shout out T-Pain. Yeah, he's making a grip of cash with his streaming. I can't hate on that.
You changed my life when I was 21 at the strip club forever with your song.
And not only that, dude, you introduced us to Akon, right? And then he went along and he Signed Lady Gaga. You know what I'm saying? So that's.
Don't forget his little jail when he threw that white kid off the stage.
Oh yeah, when Akon threw that white kid off stage, that was so fucking funny, dude.
That was a good one.
I could not fucking stop laughing.
Guard that shit.
I don't know which was better, when Akon threw that dude off the stage, or when Miguel, was it Miguel or Bruno Mars that jumped off the stage and like landed on some girl's face and squished her between the stage. I think it was
Miguel there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, both of those are hilarious. I can't tell which one's more funnier. But yo, shout out to both of you guys for being funny.
I love y'all.
All right. So now we're moving along. Top 5 favorite rappers right now. Go.
Top 5 favorite rappers right now. A Omega, definitely got to say Fendi P. Right now, that one's on top of my list for sure. Got to shout out that whole, Jet Life. You know what I'm saying? They be getting it in there for sure. Fendi P, Primo Rice has been my man right there. Been listening to Primo Rice there. Again, you know what I'm saying? Getting into that old school, real slow down, real chill, real adult hip hop music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ambitious stuff there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't got to carry the blicky with me all the time.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Best believe I got it on me, but I ain't trying to carry that all the time.
Well, we carry it if we ever have to use it, right? For like emergencies. But like,
man, but
there's people out there that carry that shit, and they're carrying that shit like, I want to be seen with a gun.
Man, I don't need.
When I got the hiccups,
gun, man, they gonna fuck with you anymore when you got a gun. Sure, you're gonna be suspect 1. They gonna look at you carrying a gun. You're gonna be suspect 1.
Yeah,
that's on the real for sure. Third one. Been listening to also a lot of Ali Dollar Sign, Les. Shout out to the Houston again too, man. Been listening to a lot of that. A lot of these cats collaborate together there, you know what I'm saying? But what they bring together is they share the same music producers, which I really like. But they're different artists there with their lyrical approach,
right?
Which makes it a little bit more nice, a little bit more detailed for me, especially from being on an artist perspective. Second, man, gotta still go with the Larry. You know what I mean? Hey, all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Larry's definitely on my list for sure.
Honest to Pete, dog. Tell you the truth, my number one right now artist that I've been listening to still gotta be Perico.
G Perico.
I figured you wouldn't understand.
Yep. It's a blue t-shirt, blue hunted. Out of state planet. Yep, that's it, man. I've been jamming the Rico.
Yeah, G Perico's tight. We saw the Hot Shot tour when he came, rocked Inside Out. Shout out G Perico.
I was jealous on that shit.
Yeah, that shit was fun. I went with
jealous as a mug.
I went with this girl that I was dating with at the time, and she was cool, you know what I mean? But when girls get drunk and say everyone hates me, that's when I kind of gotta be like,
At what? At the show she was saying that? Were you trying
No, it was like 2 days after or some shit.
Man, y'all must have partied. She said, I hate nobody loving me there. 2 days after. So I feel you on that.
So your number one's G Perico, huh? Right now?
Blue face hunted.
Hey, all right. So I guess so my top 5 right now, my 5 would probably be Low Shimmy.
Oh,
Low Shimmy, super dope. He's part of like
getting like super new on me.
Yeah, he's I
know these names, but
I saw him that he was on Coachella, right? And I never knew who he was, and I was like, let me see who this guy is, because he was on stage and everyone was giving him mad love, and I was like, who the fuck is this fucker? Are getting so much fucking love, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I put on Low Shimmy one day, and I just could not stop listening to it.
So you saw the crowd vibing, and
yeah,
it was like, yo,
I was like, what are they vibing to so hard? You know what I mean? And I put it on. I was like, oh, I could see why. He has some bangers, like, and a lot of them are slow, like soft jams, like that grown up shit, but like just the way he flows.
I'm like jazzy, cool cat.
Yeah,
kinda,
and
you know what I'm
and
saying?
he has that, but then he has the mixture of the blicky shit, and then he has the mixture of like
they got like the 808s,
but his 808s are sick. It's like boom, boom, boom,
I should
boom,
say
boom.
that. I mean, everything that mixed in anyway.
Yeah. So Low Shimmy's my 5 right now. 4 is gonna be Kodak Black. Shout out Kodak Black. Kodak Black, you are fucking hilarious, dude, and I want to just commend you for that because
Want to say you're my friend
because
all
when
the way to the end.
well, A Omega knows like when rappers are funny on track, that is an automatic like, oh, you're like one of my favorite rappers now because you have a sense of
Quickness.
humor and you can fucking
You can intrigue me.
yeah, you can intrigue me with that shit. Same with like BF, what is it? BF the Pac-Man or whatever the
Dude,
BFG the Pac-Man. Yeah, BFB, yeah.
Pac-Man,
BFB the Pac-Man. I would have to say
Get at your boy Val, please.
I would have to say he's
Please.
I would have to say he's number 3 right now, honestly.
That's Pokemon get up, jump up on you the track right now.
Yeah,
They'll fly there.
Number 2 is definitely Larry June. Hey. So I do agree with you on that one. Number 1, it would have to be a tie between. It's gonna have to be I'm gonna go with who I think is still my number 1, but it's a tie between. It is G Perico and 2 Chainz right now. But
snap.
I'm gonna give it to 2 Chainz
the
because 2
Chainz,
Chainz, not only because he dropped some of the hottest shit ever on Life is Beautiful,
Right.
The album with Larry June, shout out to them. I believe that's probably one of the best hip hop albums of 2025 so
collaboration from
far.
2
Yeah,
different parts, I
yeah.
believe.
So. Shout out to Larry June. Shout out to 2 Chainz.
Hey,
You
2
guys are
Chainz.
fucking crushing it right now. My favorite verse of all time right now is 2 Chainz verse on Sister Wives with Little Yachty. That shit's just so hard to me. Like he's
Man, I
like, all my cars orange,
music
you
video
can
is
see him in the
sick, too.
parking lot. All my couch is orange, you can see it if it's dark or not. He didn't say couch, but I'm saying couch because we're on the orange couch right now. We're fucking vibing. This is Blunt Kings. You know what I'm saying? This is the first episode, and I think it's going fucking amazing.
We're just doing it natural.
Shout out to A Omega.
Shout out to Val.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go back to favorite top 5 that are forever gone. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying?
Oof.
Oh shit, I hit the wrong one. Sorry.
No, that's all good, man.
So I didn't mean to say haha that they're resting in peace at all. So don't come after me, internet fire. You know what I'm saying? For doing that, I didn't mean to. I hit the
Don't
wrong
be so
button.
critical on a nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
I figured you wouldn't understand.
So
We like that on the speaker.
top 5 forever gone. Rest in peace. My 5 is gonna be XXX Tentacion. The fact that he changes the frequency in his music when he makes it to make it more calming and more comforting and just more like of a vibe is really cool when I learned that shit because not a lot of people do that, right? Like nowadays it's straight 808s and we've learned from Kanye that the 808 lowers the vibrational frequency in your chakra or whatever. So I kind of believe in that. You know what I mean? When he said that, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So that's why a lot of this music is made with 808s and really hard drums, and it's stuff to get you like more, not even amped up or anything. It's like it gets you like in your head too much, and you think, and then you start like getting too depressed.
You start to dwell.
and start to dwell, and
You start to dwell there.
and you start to do go down this rabbit hole of like negative feelings when you listen to some of this music. And
Or
so
is
I
it
could,
awareness?
Or
is
yeah.
is it a negative state of awareness that creates positivity there?
Or-
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
it's the-
Because you're seeing the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? I personally did not have a playlist with XXXTentacion. You know what I'm saying? I heard of the music there from my nephews and my brother-in-law. You know what I'm saying? Because I was an older head.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm I'm OG already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had these young cats turn me onto this there, and it opened my ear. You know what I mean? It kept my ear open and stretched it out a little bit more. You know what I mean? And kept me open minded to about what also is going around there. I mean, these cats were depressed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they just didn't have a way to say stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? Hearing that there, he impacted a lot of people that didn't have the voice for that. And I really, it was really sad to hear him go that quick.
And fuck
know
you,
what I'm saying?
Drake. If you're really
really that
the
sad to see
reason
what
why
that
he's
young
not
bro-
here, Drake, like fuck you for real, dude. Like that's fucked up.
That was some pussy shit, man.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sorry for saying the P word there.
no, we can say whatever we want, bro. This is Blunt King. So my number 4 is definitely gonna be, I want to say Pimp C. Shout out Pimp C. You know what I mean?
The man.
Pimp C was one of the best Houston rappers, if not the best.
About a dollar, ho.
He was true to the game. He was one of the truest MCs that, like, when you really break down his rhyme scheme, you're just like, Holy shit, dog. Like this drug dealer motherfucker was fucking sick. And I say that with all props. He was one of the top dogs in the game as far as
Man, been doing this in 90, 91, 92.
yeah, Underground King, shout out to that. And Bun B, if you have anything to do with that, or Jay-Z, if you have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
I think that's lame as fuck. So fuck you. No joke.
All to get ahead, man, on the
right?
dollar. Get ahead on the dollar.
Number 3 on my list is gonna be Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke is definitely if he was alive still,
One album.
and he was about to, like, with that one album, the way that the way that his voice sounded, the way that his cadence was, the way that he flowed on
Look at the weight of the wall.
yeah,
Prison
the energy,
the weight of the wall.
yeah, that shit was just fucking top notch. And so for that,
Rest in peace, Smoke, man.
Fat Boy says go. You know what I'm saying? Who was that? That was my number 3.
Yep.
All right, my number 2 is always gonna be it's just gonna be Tupac and Biggie. You know what I mean? My 2 is gonna be Tupac
That's
and
mixed
Biggie.
in like a burrito supreme.
Because they died like literally
one year.
yeah, within
1
the same
year.
within a year of each other. And they're
us in the
just
hip-hop
they're
community,
2
that hurt.
greats. And I know a lot of people are mad, like, why would you put both of them as your 2? Because I want to, and fuck you. And this is Blunt Kings, and we do things the way we want to do them. You
And
know
it's
what
like
I'm saying?
a burrito.
Yeah.
It's mixed in.
Yeah. So if you put them as 2, it's because I'm counting East and West at the same time.
I heard Kurt Luder say that Eazy-E died. That's how old I am.
Oh yeah, Eazy-E, shit, man.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to put him up there just as a bonus. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's an extra sauce.
Extra,
that's a
extra.
Sauce. That's a sauce on it there. You know.
and so shout out to Eazy-E. You're one of the greats. You're definitely in that spot with the 2. You know what I'm saying? And my number 1 of all time. Everybody knows this. That knows me. Big L, rest in peace. Big L was not only like the most top-notch lyricist in the game,
The most influential for you, my dog.
but I believe that he was taken way too soon, just like the rest. His story was a little different, right? Like his brother had killed somebody, so then that brother's brother came back and killed him, like on eye for an eye type shit. But then there is speculations that Jay-Z somehow may have been involved in the politics of arranging that, because he was about to sign Big L, right? And Big L was a major threat to not only himself, but Nas and Big Pun and all the greats, DMX. You know what I mean? They all came up in the same era, like where they would all freestyle in the clubs or outside of the clubs or at the tables and shit like that. And they would at the bar, was it the pool table? The pool tables.
Y'all remember, man, back in the day there too, man. He was in there beat videos there. He'd be in the background there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jay-Z be in the back while everybody else taking pictures in the front. While Big L in the front with everybody just lapping it up, limelight on him. And he in the background with the leather jacket, with the short hair, all tall and skinny, looking like a turtle.
Yeah, I think jealousy.
up.
I think jealousy
Straight the
plays
fuck up.
a lot of
Nah, man.
a lot of play. No, like, hear me out. Like jealousy from Jay-Z, right? Jealousy
That
from
wordplay too.
Yeah, like when they did that freestyle, right, where they went back to back for however minutes it was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it was.
Yeah. Right there. Old
Big
school
L,
East Coast.
no matter how fast Jay-Z rapped, right? Big L
Yep.
killed him with just smoothness
He
and
double-timed
cadence
it, triple-timed it.
and metaphors and similes and all of the things that is expected from a top-notch MC.
You know
Big
what
L
to do.
displayed on a daily basis every single time he touched the mic, and it's a damn shame that he didn't get to see the rest of his career because like I said, like if Biggie, Big L, Tupac, Eazy-E, Nipsey Hussle were all alive today. Oh fuck, I forgot Nipsey. Nipsey's on number 2. Just fuck you guys.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nipsey's on number 2 as well with the other 4 people that I picked.
Cut it out.
But it's like more. See, and it's funny when people make these lists because they're categorical and they're opinionated and all this and that.
Of course.
I'm doing a little bit of all of everything that's expected of any list. I'm putting it all in one.
That affects you the most.
Yeah,
That's
so,
why you're saying that, because it affects your heart the most.
Hey Omega, who's
know what I'm
number 5?
For you?
No, for you. Forever Gone, rest in peace.
Forever Gone, rest in peace, man. definitely got to be, man, the Jam Master Jay, because when I was a kid there, you know what I mean, I wanted to do DJing a lot. And my dad there had a bunch of albums. So I really wanted to do the, you know what I'm saying? And that's always been me. I could always do the spit scratch. I've always been a DJ, but never been a DJ. So it's always been like that in me in my blood. Jam Master Jay there. Pun, would be number 4.
Fuck yeah.
Punisher as far as the Boricua there, you know what I mean? Tabuque, you know what I mean? Like back in the back of the act, you know what I mean? That's always been in the back of my backpack, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know how to act.
That Little Italy rhyme scheme that he did was probably and still arguably one of the best 4 bars in hip hop history, right? Like just for anybody being like, we dead in the middle of Little Italy where we shot 2 middlemen who didn't do diddly. You know what I mean? Like, are we riddled 2 middlemen who didn't do diddly? Yeah. Like that shit is just fucking insane, bro. Like you're just like,
it's straight classic to the dome there that even have you reiterating how the way you want to lay down your lyrical approach the next time you even think about writing.
Yeah, exactly. I think me and you even did a collabo rhyme for the song Classic where I gave homage to that line itself and then went off on some other tangent after that.
Well, that's what we had to there. We have to incorporate it there because if we don't incorporate, the old school with the new school, how are we going to know our history?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is how we know our history. We pay homage to our history through recognition. And the recognition is through the proper way and a tasteful way to cover another hip-hop great song.
So Jam Master Jay was your 4, Big Pun was your 3rd. Who's your 2nd?
Number 2.
All right, when I mean 5 and 4, who's your 3rd? Sorry.
Third. That's my word. Shit, man. I gotta say, been a minute there for sure. The Dolph.
Oh yeah, Young Dolph. Shout out Young Dolph.
You know what I mean? He came in a little older for me at my time in my life there. Because he was real young and strong with the younger folk.
But I see where you're coming from though, because you've always been into Memphis. Sorry, I just had to cut you off. I know you more than most people, and I know you've been into Memphis and like his cadence with the Memphis voice, but with what he was doing, he was almost like how
that deep voice,
like how we said about who were we saying it that was really good lyrically, but he was a drug dealer, like Pimp C, right? So he was like a really good lyrical drug dealer, and that's And I'm just saying it because kudos, you know what I mean? Like that shit's dope.
Easy wasn't a rapper.
Same with Eazy-E. Same with Nipsey. Same with people like Messy Marv when Messy Marv was in his heyday, right? When he was
too many of us get into
a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? So just shout out to I really like the way how being in the game could really affect your lyrical ability, and then you start making these metaphors and similes about some of the shit you see, like pussy tighter than a money clip or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like just these certain rhymes that people go into when it's like not it's even a little bit farther than lifestyle rap, like what Larry June and 2 Chainz and
it was more horrorcore. It was more reality core at that time.
Yeah, like
it wasn't horrorcore there, but
it's
it was
just
reality core.
real, super real.
It was like
real
roaches
life
on the floor, roaches in the cereal box.
Yeah, and Maxo Cream does shit like that. You know what I mean? Like shout out Maxo Cream. So yeah, okay, so that's a really good one. Young Dolph. Number two.
Lord Infamous.
But you can call me Scarecrow.
Oh, I got the blood on me. I did the blood. Oh, you know what I'm saying? That was Lord Infamous, the original. I've been listening to that shit since I was 97. I went to Hastings and I bought me Tear the Club Up Thugs, and it didn't even say 666 Mafia on it. And I heard it. I read all these people's. It said Big Timers. It said, Fiend. It said Juvenile. It had a bunch of other people that I didn't even know at the time. And I got to scan the barcode, and it let me listen to the barcode on the motherfucking headphones. It was like a preview before you buy it. So I was like, all right, I'll get down with that.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know what I mean? A lot of people forget about that shit. Remember when you scan the barcode in the back and let you listen to each track before you buy it?
The first Yeah, I remember that. But I remember the first time I heard 3-6 Mafia. It was probably with you or with this other guy,
Late night tip.
Sean Quintana. But it was suck my nuts, lick my nuts, suck my
Oh no,
lick my nuts.
that one would definitely be me, man. That was Club Memphis Underground Volume 2. Lick my nut. You know the sad thing about
Was that before that album?
Before which one again? Tell
Before
me
that first album that you said you bought at Hastings or whatever.
Yes. The sample was cleared before that there and did that there. You know, the infrastructure there had always been there, but the Club Memphis, Tear the Club Up Thugs was like I guess you could say an exploratory album from Reese's Mafia at the time. Because it had a bunch of different people. It wasn't just like Prophet Posse. Prophet Posse and Mafia there. Prophet Posse was Reese's Mafia before it was on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. See, so you're giving me some background knowledge on.
See, and I'm getting too
the
crazy
Memphis
right
scene.
now there.
No, keep
That
going.
was number 2, but that was number 2.
All right, so who's your
Lord
number
Infamous,
one?
you know what I'm
Lord Infamous, but you can call him Scarecrow, motherfucker.
Yep, exactly there. My number 1, shit, man, if y'all know me, wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow,
Fuck, I forgot. I feel like a piece of shit. Mac Dre, motherfucker.
Thizzle, man.
Yeah, no.
If you know
Mac Dre's gonna have to go on that number 2 slot with all the greats that I had earlier for sure.
No can do.
Yeah.
I want you for myself.
Yo, shout out to Mac Dre.
Shit,
Mac
man,
Dre.
R.I.P. Mac Dre.
I can't believe I forgot Mac Dre because when that one weekend that you showed me Trill TV, right? Volume
Trill
2. Was that volume 2 or volume 1?
I had 1 and 2, baby.
I think we watched both that same night, right? And we won't get into the details of all that, but like
Andre
it was
Mackesy.
it was one of those nights where you're just like when when you're showing a rapper and you're just like, why haven't I heard of this motherfucker in the whole time that I've been listening to rap? And I can't believe that I forgot him tonight. And I'm so sorry, Mac Dre. Rest in peace, Mac Dre. You are the god of not just charisma,
Bay Area,
but not just the Bay Area, but
influential area.
one of those motherfuckers that just like when you hear how free his flow is and how fucking free that his spirit was,
Steady.
and how steady his
He was XXX Tension for our generation.
yeah,
man.
yeah,
You know
no,
what I
for
mean?
real. So he was, yeah. Shout out to Mac Dre. Shout out to Mac Dre.
That shit right there.
You are the best, and I'm gonna give you one of these as well. That was a messed up one. Let me give you a better one. Yo, shout out to Mac Dre. Yeah, he's up there. He's on my number 2 slot with all the greats. So shit, we have one more thing to go over. Oh, your top 5 worst rappers, A Omega. The top 5 worst rappers in the game.
The Trashers?
Trash. Like they're trash. Like I'm sorry. Like
You
he
really
like
wanna go there
every
now?
time I hear a
I mean, on a
song,
good note there, now I got to talk some dirties, man. Ah, man.
this is what we're here for,
I
man.
ain't like that, man. You know, fuck that.
Like this is historically, like it doesn't have to be like 5 rappers that you know of like right now, because there's we could fill up that list way too fast. It could just be
Okay,
of all time, literally. Like
On a general scale there, how about like this?
let's do this. Let's do it.
People that I don't fucks with.
We're gonna do a top 5 list where it's me and him going back and forth on the worst ones. So A Omega's gonna go first.
All right, man. The fucking first, 5 people that are trash that I don't fuck with there. Definitely MGK. I don't fuck with that fucking whack motherfucker.
MGK, you
know what I'm saying?
suck.
Like I never fucked with him there. I remember when he came up there, you keep your dye hair.
I'd rather be
all your
80-year-old me
piercings,
than
and
20-year-old
you can go and do whatever you gotta do over there. I mean, you may be 6 feet tall and ride your bike and whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll give 2 fucks, 3 shits, and 1 damn. You know what I'm saying? But,
MGK.
yeah, MGK there. I've never had one of your songs on my playlist. So
He's your number 5 on the 5.
that's number 5.
All right, my number 5 is gonna be Silk the Shocker, dog. Like
The Shaka.
Silk the Shocker. I'm sorry, dude. Like your flow, like you might have been saying some cool shit because you were
Gotta be on my
kicking it with Master P and all the homies and shit.
On
Like
my speakers be around because we all be in the cemetery. Yeah. I got
Yeah,
you.
no, I couldn't get down with Silk the Shocker flow, so he's my number 5. Your number 4 is what?
Oh man, my number 4 motherfucker that I dislike for sure, that I don't fucks with, is definitely. I never fucked around with Wale.
Dang, Wale's
Yeah,
flow.
dog. I never fucked around
Okay,
with Wale, dude.
and it's just because why? Like
No,
his,
just because it wasn't appealing for me there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He had more stuff that was for the younger cats and the younger.
I feel like he rapped more for girls, honestly. Like
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he did that flow when, like, you know, he was more demographic for the people that was already older than me. I was already on like the 10-year, you know what I mean, list when he was trying to appeal to them young.
like he makes music for like after you leave the club and you're trying to kick it
That's
with the
lounge
chicks.
music,
Yeah,
bro.
and like
you know what I mean,
and-
lounge like that, but
which
like,
isn't a bad thing, I guess,
still be
but
pimp and
that's
chill
all it's
there,
for.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
My appeal for the pimp and lounge shit. That's like more of that Larry. That's more of that Domicile. That's more that Primo.
Dom
Rice.
Kennedy. I'd rather bump
You know
Tom
what I'm saying?
Kennedy for sure.
Yeah, that's more that, you know, P-low, down low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Let's see. My number 4 is gonna have to be Lil B the Bass God. Honestly, Lil B the Bass God sucked to me. I saw a story where he was telling someone like Cameron or something like that he's just gonna go in the studio and freestyle a bunch of albums or some shit, and then he did,
How
and
did
it
that
was just
go for him?
it went well for him, but like the music was trash. You know what I mean? Like the music will always be trash. Lil B.
How was his residuals?
I think he made money off of it because people were just so fucked up off of drugs at the time that I don't know if it sounded on to him or whatever. You know what I mean? But he had a good run as far as people knowing who he was, and everyone called him the bass god for some reason. But I guess it was because I don't know if he was making the beats and they were real bassy or what. But yeah, Lil B is my number 4 for sure. Sorry, Lil B. Number 3s.
For your boy EMCEES. Damn. The third one there for sure. Definitely gotta be the 6ix9ine. Boom pop 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 boom pop boom now boom pop pop pop.
I liked one song from 6ix9ine.
Dude, I'm a goon pop pop pop.
But he is on the list. He is on the list. He's my third for sure.
Fuck is that shit?
He's my third.
Like, get the fuck back.
He's my
man.
third too. So we'll agree on that. 6ix9ine is number 3 on the worst top rappers, or
Bruh.
the top worst rapper.
Dude. Fruity Loop.
And then he fell
looking
off
ball of
super
little
hard.
thing. Yeah, that go to a third world country, man. Yeah,
Well, you
you
get you get signed by the cartel or whatever, or whoever he got signed by. I'm not gonna say the cartel. Like I'm not trying to put that bad juju on you guys. But yeah, so like he gets signed by this weird entity, right? And not weird, but just another entity.
I heard he was in prison, man.
And then they
He was in
but they tell
Dominican.
him this. They say we'll sign you, but you can't make no music about no gang shit or provoking people online and shit.
Yeah, so
And
he's doing T-Pain Dominican, man.
so he lost his angle.
T-Pain Dominican.
You know what I mean? Because his angle was that, and then plus him and 50 Cent and a couple others and like Jim Jones, they're all federal informants, from what I understand,
Well, that's how they
or
make
from what
their money,
I've
man, of course.
analyzed in the game. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you can
So
keep your money, keep your shit. As long as you keep your mouth shut.
So I would say, yeah.
Well, I didn't say that.
6ix9ine, you're the third worst rapper on the list. You know what I'm saying? So let's give him a shout out for that.
I'll do it, mama.
Let's see if I can do it like that.
What you say, man? Ya tú sabes,
So
man.
number two. This is where it gets hard because we've already named like all the wackest ones already. Number 2, I'm gonna have to skim down the list of rappers.
In your brain, man. We ain't looking at no thing, man. It's in your brain, man.
2.
Yep. We already know our number 1, but our number 2 there for sure. You already know what to do. You know.
You said who's your number 2?
My number 2 rapper that I dislike the most to date, it's probably got to be Tiger.
You don't like Tiger? Yeah.
Why? I mean, that nigga does every song that you could ever cover. He's like DJ Khaled of songs.
Oh yeah.
Except DJ Khaled ripped off everybody's beats.
He just rips
You know what I'm
off
saying? Motherfucking
everybody's.
Tiger, he goes Santana. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Tiger, he
shit.
always does everybody's fucking beats over there and
Okay.
puts his own LA nigga, and then no, fuck you, fucking Tiger ass, little skinny ass, little light skinned, little Anthony Angel looking ass nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
If you guys don't know who Anthony Angel is,
Yeah,
shout out
ain't
to
nothing.
you. You guys don't
Shout
even
out to
know.
you, Ants in the Pants. You made it famous now, motherfucker. What?
Second worst rapper. Oh man, I'm gonna have to say
Snake ass. I had to put that out there too. I'm sorry.
what about Crunchy Black, right?
Woo!
I was-
For number one?
No, number 2.
For number two?
Crunchy
Rob.
Black.
Yeah, still. Yeah, put you
Yeah.
on the field. How do you say that? I mean, 6'9" is worse than that. 6'9", I mean, come on.
Well, 6ix9ine actually
Let's
knows how to
plan
write
a robbery.
Like, yeah.
Let's plan a robbery. That's mafia.
Yeah,
That's
I
mafia.
no, I love 3 6 Mafia. I'm just saying, like, as far as like rappers that weren't that good, and I have nothing against him. Like, it's nothing against him. It's just like when I would hear their verses, I had to switch it. You know what I mean?
I feel you. That's on the Wale thing with me.
Yeah. So
what I'm
he's
saying?
like
I
my
got you.
he's like my version of Wale for sure, I guess. Number 1. Oh, did you say you're number 2?
I already did.
Who?
That's what I said.
Crunchy Black?
No. I said it was motherfucking.
No, that was 6ix9ine was your third. That was mine and yours third.
Oh
I said Crunchy Black for the second.
no, I said mine before y'all. What you kidding me?
We'll have to go back and check. If A Omega didn't say a second,
Holla at me, man.
he owes me a blunt on
We
next
gonna get that
episode.
there, and I'm gonna get him a big one. It's gonna be infused,
Infused blunt,
infused,
some
man.
rosin
You know
and
what it
shit.
is, man.
So let's see. Number one. That's my drum roll. I don't have a drum roll in here, so I'm making one. All right. So our number 1 is going to be, let's see. Let's name some. Who deserves to be in? You know what? I'm gonna say it, dude. Eminem. Eminem is my first on the list of worst rappers to me. Right now.
You son
right
of a
now.
bitch. That
I dropped the bomb.
Wow.
Eminem sucks,
Man,
dude. Eminem.
You got the jump on me, man.
Eminem really does not make good music in 2025. Honestly, like I did listen to "Music to Be Murdered To" or by or whatever the fuck. That one was all right, but there was a couple of bites on there from us. There's a couple of bites on there from Esham. You know what I mean? So like what I have gathered from how famous rappers get, right? Like when they're on Eminem status, we'll say
They recycle.
and then they bite and then they have, I believe they have people go to the internet for them to find the most unlistened to yet most original pieces of music that they could find,
They can
right?
obtain, yeah.
And then they emulate it and reproduce it in their own studio. So that's literally my thought on how big rappers are, such as Eminem, Drake, and so on and so forth. The ones that are like literally like,
Because we've heard mad stories I've heard people saying, I came out with these lyrics 20 times, I did this 20 months before
Right.
Drake even got a hold of this.
Right.
And I didn't have my lyrics cleared. There was anything cleared on me on my half, but yet I still got screwed in the long over there.
and if you don't believe me, go back on the YouTube channel for Strain Damage and look at the Vultures post that I posted. It was probably like last year sometime, but
Bulletproof was on there.
yeah, it has.
Apple Music even bit from us.
Yeah, whenever I heard Apple Music use the Bulletproof sample, like how we used it, and like it was the same tempo. It was the same tempo, same type beat behind it, and then we heard it again on My Block. Remember that show that was on Netflix? There's an episode that it was like on season 5 or episode 5 or some shit like that. I don't know. You'd have to ask TOE.
Yeah, shout out to Slim Thug too. Who else? Shout out to Filthy Rich. There, nothing's gonna stop me.
Yeah, whenever we drop
Shout out to all of y'all for
we
that
dropped
one,
the We've
too.
Been Here mixtape. We're going on a rant right now on how rappers are biter. But yeah, Eminem is my number 1 worst rapper.
Mine as well.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Of
Yeah.
course, I never bought that full CD.
The only CD, CD I bought, and I believe this is the most bought CD that everyone is known for getting, is the Marshall Mathers LP, the first one. But like I said, you dissed my friends on that CD too. So shout out to ICP. I know you guys squashed the beef, but this isn't why I'm putting him as number one worst rapper.
It's not that.
When I listen to Eminem nowadays, I'm like, this guy is just like
shifted.
Like, and it's not even a shift, or it kind of is like a culture shift, but he's trying to appease to the minds of the kids nowadays, and which is like they don't care if they say shit to get canceled, right?
Well, he's a grandpa, right? He's a grandpa.
Yeah, he's definitely a grandpa now. Shout out to Eminem for being a grandpa. My sons don't have sons. I'm better. So
I love you for saying that.
So yeah, Eminem, I'm sorry, dude, but like that metaphorical, gorical, pechorical, echolorical, ecomomorical, all that shit doesn't get to me no more. I liked when you were rhyming like Steven Seagal, don't believe in the law. Like that's real rhyming, you know what I mean? Like, but when you're just rhyming syllables upon top of syllables and then starting rhymes with other words, that's really not like doing it for anybody in the rap game. And I'm sorry
anymore.
Like no, like ever. Like like I think it did it for like the backpack rappers when backpack rappers first started being backpack rappers. Okay. And then after that they were just like, this guy is just like, yeah, he inspired us to go crazy with the words, but then that's where it ended. Right?
I mean, even for me back then, I was like, I was never really a fan.
No.
I mean, literally, even from the get-go, you know, it was too corny, too cheesy there. I wasn't one of those ones because I was already the class clown. Yes! So, with that being said, I mean, I call bomb threats back in the 90s. There, you ain't fucking saying nothing new to me. You know what I mean? Like, and that's facts.
I figured you wouldn't understand.
Uh-huh. So, you know what I mean? To say stuff like that there, I was already on that tip there. I understood it there, but like, hey, kids, do you like Primus? Like, yo, that was all right, but I was already in a different trip.
Well, see, I didn't even like
I was already wooed out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was already on a different tip. I was
when you
OD
listen to
beat up.
Wu-Tang, for like when you grew up on Wu-Tang and you grew up on Nas and you grew up on Big L, like when someone like Eminem comes around, those first two albums were probably the two best albums he's ever put out ever. It's kind of like an Adam Sandler story, right?
Lyrical and influential,
right?
Guaranteed.
I mean,
even though I don't like it, doesn't mean that I don't know it.
Where Billy,
you know what I mean?
Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, right, were the ones that set it off for Adam Sandler, and I kind of compare them to because it's similar. Because I was alive when it came out, you know what I mean? Like
that was the white boy shit.
And so,
you know what I mean? And
yeah,
that was the white boy shit,
yeah,
because the white boys can get down on that there. So that would be like, hey, dude, what's up? Hey, Callie, how you doing today? Hey, Chris,
right?
You might like this there. Or, hey, Anthony, what's up? Let me show you this new, you know. It's like how Limp Bizkit got the pass and shit.
Well, Limp Bizkit was all right for a second,
but they got the pass.
And they got the pass.
They got the pass.
Yeah.
You know, that's a motherfucking thing.
Shout out to Fred Durst. He's touring with Corey Feldman now.
I'm the comeback king. You know what I mean? Dude.
So, yeah, dude. Blunt Kings is definitely in full effect. This is episode 1. Shout out to you guys for watching.
Thank you for staying in.
Hey. I know we're gonna be saying more crazier shit. We're gonna go over more lists. We're gonna come up with different topics each week.
Get go, baby.
But what we're gonna be really doing is we're gonna be covering everything that's happened month by month in hip hop history, all the big shit. Oh, that brings me to one more thing. We have one more thing to cover.
What's that, my dog?
And this is just quick, honestly. These are just like the classic hip hop albums that were released in January, right?
Oh, snap.
So the Ghetto Boys in 1990.
Ooh, which is that one? The one with
self-titled
Bill?
Yeah, self-titled. This the seminal album that introduced the world to the Ghetto Boys, gritty storytelling and raw production. That was a dope ass album. That was the one I believe that had what is it? What's their most famous song again?
It feels good to be a gangster, right?
No, what was the other one? The darker one where they're talking about
my mind playing tricks on me.
Yeah, my mind playing tricks on me. Yeah, my bad. I had a brain fart. Blunt Kings fuck up.
That's what happens when we smoke blunts, King.
1991, DJ Quick. Quick is the name. DJ Quick's debut album showcasing a smooth West Coast production and lyrical prowess.
Shit, dog. Tonight's the night.
DJ Quick will always be one of the best producers, best rappers, best gangsters
I've
to
been
ever
on the
do it.
stage with Quick, man.
You have.
Hey, I've been on the stage with Quick.
We have.
Everybody forget that shit there too, man. I was a young little kid. I was a young little buck, man, about 20 something. And I was actually on the stage with Quick when I was a kid.
That was dope.
And man, TOV right here will contest that.
We've been on stage with like really cool rappers. Like honestly, like we've opened up for not only Project Pat in Denver at the Roxy, but we opened up for King Crooked, aka Crooked Eye in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at Bird's Tiki Lounge. Rest in peace, Bird's Tiki Lounge. We missed that shit so much. We did a Summerfest, which was one of the best things that we've ever done in our career. As T.I.O, the Inspired Ones. Shout out to TOE. Shout out to A Omega. We took it out to City of Industry, and we shared the stage. We were the first ones to go on. As a matter of fact, I love telling
Y'all toured up.
I love telling the story because not only did we do really good on the set, but like when you get off the set and someone's like, "You guys are like the Brown Beastie Boys" or whatever, that really makes you like really think that like, damn,
man,
like
you're different.
we could do this shit. Yeah, like we know how to rock a crowd, and we love doing that shit. We're taking a little break right now. We're currently working on another album.
We just inspired.
Yeah, we're taking a little break. We're having we're having fun with this podcasting and this media stuff. And what we bring you in the future music wise is definitely going to be something that you will like and you will love.
You'll stick with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I promise you, it ain't nothing that's going to keep you unenthused there.
But anyway, at that show was how many rappers did we open up for? We were the first ones to go on. I love telling the story. We were the first ones to go on.
Birthday party, B Real.
No, it was B Real's birthday.
And Snoop Dogg was DJ.
Snoop Dogg was the DJ.
Yeah.
So Cypress Hill was the last act of the night, right? When they went on, there was like probably 8,000 people in the crowd. Would you say?
Easy. Afro
Man was there. So when we went on stage, there was maybe like 800 people in the crowd, which is still a good crowd, I guess, because we've never performed in front of that many people in Albuquerque or in. I think. Well, when we opened up for Project Pat, I think maybe there was like
the T.I.O.
at the end of the night, 1,000. But when we performed, there was probably only like maybe 200-300. You know what I mean? So that was still a big enough crowd to rock. We threw a couple grams of wax out. But anyway, when we were in City of Industry, we opened up, we were on stage. There was only like 800 people in the crowd. And then as the night progressed, there was the likes of Sugar Free, Afro Man, Second to None. Chris stood in the beer line right next to Second to None. And then when they asked us if they could go, I was like, of course, dog.
It was cool.
You're second to nobody, dog. Get a fucking beer, homie. So that shit was so fucking dope. And then
so funny, man.
West Side Connection was there without Ice Cube. Let's see who else was there.
Mac 10 Dub.
Yeah. Sugar Free, I already said. Snoop was the DJ.
Short? Right.
Too Short, yes. Too Short was there. He was the one that went on right before Cypress Hill. And then as Cypress Hill went on, there was 8,000 people in the crowd. Shout out to Be Real, man. I was the guy that stuck my camera in the tent and tried to get a picture of you and probably blinded you, dog. But if you remember that night.
Oh, some real shit.
Yeah, that was me. If you got blinded, Be Real, I'm sorry, dude. I was trying to get a clean picture of you. I was being groupied out.
Man, that was a good night, though.
Yeah, that shit was so fun. I had a headache. They let us perform, but they didn't let us go back to get like our glasses and shit. And me without glasses for longer than an hour is devastating to my health. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm a fucking asshole when I start getting eyeglass headaches and shit. So anyway, let's move along. But that was a dope show. Shout out City Industry. Thank you, Flossie, for hooking us up with that. We paid $1,000 to be on that show. That shit was loco, but it
And
was,
drive time.
and it only paid for all the washcloths for all the fucking rappers that night for them to
Shout
put them.
out Flossie.
Yeah, that shit was so fun. All right,
Say shout out Sweaty.
1993, Curious,
Ooh.
A Constipated Monkey. Now, I did not even do my research on this. I've never heard of this album. Curious, A Constipated Monkey. Shout out to Curious. Shout out to the album Constipated Monkey. I've never heard this fucking album.
We're gonna play it right now.
Yeah, let's see if we can put it on right now.
Let's check it out, cuz.
A Constipated Monkey. Let's see. Watch, type it in. All right, hold on.
Yo, you pass me that blunt, cuz. Do it like Cali style, man. Like you got one of your own? Nigga, you trying to steal my blunt? See, this way we do it.
Curious, A Constipated Monkey. So watch, we're going to play the shit. 1994. I'm going to just play the song.
Then we can catch a little
Whatever
bit of
pops
it.
up first is going to play. Hopefully it's not. Watch, I'll wait till that's done.
Gringos for you gringos.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Hey, yo, gringo, watch my gringo.
Hopefully we don't get flagged. If this is...
Lunes, el lunes. You understand that, fucking bastard? You son of a bitch. Get out of here, get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. Get out of here. I don't like you, man. You know, hey.
Damn, I can't believe I never heard
Finger in
this.
your ass and feel the shit because you full of shit.
That sounds like our style right there, boy.
You know, oh shit, man. You know, like I made a left turn, but I was about to make a right, so I went
That might be like a
straight.
interlude. Hold on, let's find a song. Let's call
that
Top
was
Notch.
Where? Over there? Where? Donkey time.
This might be my new favorite album.
The motherfucking magician with the wand is the man. If I blow like jizz in your grill, constipated for real, with the shit to fulfill, combined with mad skill. Brew in the freezer, no time for cock teasers. Asthmatic freezer gives more props to a skeezer. Why? Simply cause she know what she wants. She won't say
I'm so horny.
and then front when my brain
Man, that's on point.
Yeah, Curious. Shout out to Curious.
Yo,
that was
yo,
dope. That was
yo.
dope as fuck. I'm sad that I didn't hear this shit in 1993, 1994 when this shit dropped.
You were like 8, 6 or something for sure.
let's see.
Right?
Yeah, I was 8.
You're like 8.
I was 8. I was 8
You know
o'clock.
what I'm saying?
I was 8 o'clock years old.
I was 9. I won't deny.
Oh, and then we go 1996. The DOC drops Helter Skelter.
Ooh.
Before his.
Yeah, before DOC. No. DOC had already got.
He didn't.
hurt.
He didn't. Yeah, before his.
He already accident.
Before his car accident that crushed his throat. I think that was the only album he ever put out.
That was a Doc formula, right? The formula came out back in like 91, 92.
Right. And I think he's teaming up with like some kind of AI like chat box where it like
It helps out with his vocals.
like it took his voice from back then and then it's taking all his lyrics from now and it's combining the two and it's gonna make an album supposedly. So shout out to DOC if you pull that shit off.
Man, you deserve it.
You deserve it, and I won't call you evil for using AI like that because you're the only
have
one
some-
that has the reasoning to use that shit like
yeah,
that.
man, your voice is scratched up and you still have the heart and you're still genuine with it there and your vocals are still there. You just need some filter to help you fill in the rough patches.
Right.
And you still got your voice.
And your lyrics are dope.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, shout out to the DOC.
Old as Dr. Dre, man. You know what I mean? Dr. Dre's old as Dre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dr. Dre is super old. So are most of these rappers. So are we. We're 40 years old. We're old too. We're like 10 years younger than
What
Snoop.
the fudge?
So or like 20 years younger than Snoop or some shit. So anyway, Keith Murray, 1999 drops. It's a beautiful thing.
It's just like that.
Yeah. So
Man, poor Murray, man. All I gotta say is,
what happened to Keith Murray, dog?
no, just poor Keith Murray, man. I know he be having a bad slew of shit going on. You know, that one time he showed up for that battle. Then they caught him out in the streets on the shit. There, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Wait, he didn't show up to a battle and they clowned him?
No, well, he showed up to the battle, but he was on that wet.
Oh, he was on meth?
Yeah, no, he was like this. Like
Oh, embalming
on
fluid?
Something there.
He was on
They
wet.
think He was on that wet.
He was on that wet.
yeah,
man. Keith Murray.
And they caught him on the streets like after that battle there, and he was like kind of like still on the I don't know who you is kind of tip. And I was like, man.
That's a damn shame.
I
Like,
put some Vice in my eyes so no one could tell. I looked in the mirror and said to myself, yo, you high as hell. You know what I'm saying?
when rappers go down the route of
shit
really
hit me
getting
right here.
addicted to drugs, like really bad. Shout out to Smick Dirty, man. Like, he was one of my favorite rappers ever, dog. And he was from Sacramento type shit, right? Dirty Boy Clean and my LRGs. Bro, tell me why I ended up having to fucking find methadone for this guy when he came into Albuquerque one time, and it was just the saddest thing, bro. And you know, it was even sadder is the guy that gave me the methadone. It was just a bunch of spit, like not spit, but like, you know, like the last sips of every methadone in the cup, how it has a little bit of vavas in it or whatever. I guess he had poured a bunch of those into a big old cup and
like
then
backwash and shit?
yeah, and then gave it to me to give to Smick Dirty. So I'm so sorry, Smick, dog. Like, that was like the only thing I could find. But yeah, I got you some spitty ass fucking gross methadone, and I apologize, bro. So shout out to me for being a piece of shit trying to help out a rapper. But yeah, whatever. Shout out to Smick Dirty. I hope you're better by now, dude. But yeah, so episode 1 of
That's how it goes.
And I've got A Omega with his jaw dropped. And we went over some dope ass topics. We're on January of hip hop, right?
And we're going to get on top of February before you know it.
Yep. It'll be next episode. We'll be doing February. So keep an eye out for.
Might even come out this week. You
Who knows?
never know.
Who knows?
It's like a drop for FTP apparel.
It's a tap away, dude. That's all we know. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what it is.
just so we know. Blunt Kings, episode 1. It was a success. I'm gonna add more sounds into the soundboard next week. I have the Little John Wet.
I just want to say I'm glad to get down with you over here, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Glad to be hanging out with your boy Val. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Me and your boy Val, we always keep it wild. You know what I'm saying? We always come up with
Me and A
some
Omega,
real shit.
we've been friends for fucking 25, 26 years
Plus.
plus. We've seen a lot of hip hop drop since the first time we met each other. I remember the
We've been
first time I met A Omega. I believe it was at a friend of ours, a mutual friend. His name was Job, right? His rap name was Carney Corpse. He stole the rap name from me. It was fucked up, but whatever. It is what it is. Then I came up with another rap name, and then another rap name, and then it ended up being Vile, T.I.O. Vile. Long story short, when I met A Omega, we were recording some music on EJ at this guy's house, at Job's house, and we used to just get really stoned off of whether it was swag or some step down or some really fire ass chronic, and then I remember
kind of pillow.
yeah,
Mix
and
of
then
pillow.
I remember we just record some dope ass what we thought was dope at the time music. It was original. There was some really cool songs that came out of it. I remember the Four Mental Chaos days like it was yesterday. So shout out to Four Mental Chaos. Shout out to Job. Shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to all the
shout
Uliad.
out to Matt.
Rest in peace to Zeke. We love you guys all because you guys played a huge journey into what became
Us.
T.I.O, the Inspired Ones, A Omega, T.O Vile, T.O.E, so on and so forth. And it's really cool to just dive into history, you know what I'm saying? And when we do that, the stories that come from it are
Genuine.
yeah, they're genuine.
They're
and
natural and organic.
and we're trying to just bring you a little bit more of who we are as people and hip hop historians, if you will. So yeah, thank you for joining us on the first episode of Blunt Kings. I am your host, T.O. Val. This is the other host, A Omega.
With the funky dough flavor.
Yes, sir. And until next time, motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna jump into February. Let's see what happens. If you guys have any top 5 lists that we haven't named tonight, and you guys want to come up with some different ones for us to ask each other, name them up. Top 5 West Coast albums, top 5 East Coast albums, whatever. I think we might do something like that on the next episode. So until then, I am T.I.O Val,
It's your boy Omega.
and this is the Blunt Kings, motherfucker.
Subscribe and link in. Peace.
Motherfucker.
Wake up, blunt. Brush my teeth, blunt. Breakfast, eggs, coffee, and a blunt. Drive to work, blunt. Come back home, blunt. Smoke again, go to bed, and dream about